Hey guys, welcome to Bar Z. My name's Stan, and welcome to Sign My Grind number 3. And today we're going to talk about actually tilting the sign plate and the accuracies that we had to create and why we did the things we did way back in part 1, and so a few of the things we did in part 2. Why we went to all those troubles. A lot of guys said, "Why'd you bother grinding the base plate, the base unit, and getting it so flat? Who cares? Just grind the mag in and get it parallel. Who cares if the base is straight or not?" Well, this sign roll, if it is tilted across that axis, if you remember, we took out about 6 thousandths out of this out of the grinder base. If that sign roll is tilted, my plate's going to tip up to the left or to the right, and I'm not going to keep a flat tabletop. So I needed my sign plate at the base to be very, very parallel with the axis of the machine. And the other thing we have to look at is when we put this on and tram it, we sweep the backside of the sign roll and install it very square to the axis of the machine. If it's not, if your sign roll is off center on the machine, you've got a table tilting back to the left or to the right. So the sign roll has to be level to the axis of the machine, and it has to be square to the axis of the machine. So those two things have to happen, and we'll take some preliminary measurements. I'll show you everything that I went through to get this plate on here accurately. All right, stay tuned for that. Okay, so here we are on the right side of the sign plate, and as you can see, I'm indicating right on the sign roll. This is the roll, and the outer shell of the roll. There's a pin in there, very much like a hinge, but I'm going to be indicating across a long section. There's a break in it here and here, and these are precision ground inside and out. So I figured we'd go straight to the sign roll just to get our measurement. So this is the sleeve that the actual roll rides on. So I'm just moving the spindle up and down to find the high spot on there. And I'm going to get it in motion and see what kind of backlash we're going to get out of the indicator. Yeah, she's going to move right out of the gate. Let me get that to kind of settle in there. I'm sweeping across there right now. So we know our sign roll is dead straight to the machine right now, to the y-axis running this direction. There must be some crud on there. Let me wipe that thing. See if we can keep that needle from bouncing again. And see now the backlash settled it all the way into 0 in this direction. So let's see how she stays here. Oh, there goes my compressor. Okay, so we're happy there that our sign roll is parallel with the x-axis of the machine. And we're going straight to the sign plate for everything. I've already swept down the side, and this plate's pretty square. Down the side, I was only getting maybe a couple tenths off front to back, but I'd rather go straight to the sign roll and get that measurement there. Okay, let's tip up the table, or let's take a 0 reading first, and then tip up the table and take another reading and see how we do. Okay, and we got a fresh grind on the top. We've let the table sit for a couple of days and kind of settle in, and I did a real nice finish grind on it and got it real flat. And we're going to sweep it in the y-axis, just check it front to back, and then we're going to change the angle of the sign plate and see how it holds. There's my Harley guy running around the neighborhood again. Okay, so from front to back, nothing. Zip, zilch, nada. You saw a little jumpy across there, but that can be attributed to the grind and that 46 grit wheel I used. I just used a 46J wheel and just dusted this thing very lightly and just shaved off a couple tenths. Got rid of all those nasty scallops and everything from my my rough grind the other day. So we're real good on we're at 0 degrees. Let's jack the Sine plate up, and I'm just going to take it. I'm just going to throw a couple of 1, 2, 3 blocks in there. So we're going to elevate this Sine roll 6 inches, and I don't know what that equates to on a 10-inch roll. I don't feel like doing the math, but any angle is good. We don't care what the angle is. What we care about is after we take it to an angle, that it still remains reasonably true across the mag. So let's raise it up and check it. Okay, and here we are again with our 1,000th preload. I got the Sine plate up on 1, 2, 3 blocks, so that's 6 inches of rise. I've got under there. Let me see if I can do the preload on that thing right. And this tripod is right in my way. Now usually when I start traveling, as soon as I start traveling in this direction, I gain a tenth. So let's see what happens here. Yep, there it is. Alright, so it snaps us right to 0. I'm just going to run us over to this side of the table. And like I said before, we don't really care what this angle is. It's, I don't know, 6-inch rise over 10-inch roll spacing. I think that's 35 or 40 degrees. Okay, so we're coming up on 2 tenths above. And when I measured this before, I was at about 2.5 tenths. So let's see where we end up here. We're at a solid 2 there. And we're coming up on the edge of the table right there. So there you have it. We're at 2 tenths side to side at about 40 degrees. Okay, and our back fence is on. And been ground parallel to the machine. It was very similar to grinding these fronts and backs, but it was just a real simple L-shaped piece that bolts onto the back of the mag, and I had already squared the back of the mag. I'd already ground that flat because, if you recall from the last video, it was dished. So ground the back flat, fabricated a piece, dropped it in, bolted it in, and then ground this parallel. So I've got a parallel fence. God, it's about as square as I can make it. So this thing's actually ready to go to work now. I'm pretty pleased with these results. All right, guys, thanks for watching.